So, whilst we're waiting, who watched Fraser's live on Tuesday when he was interviewing Larry Thompson? Any of you guys see it? If you didn't see it, go on to Fraser's Facebook profile and look for the live Tuesday night. It started just after we finished our call on Tuesday, and he was interviewing a guy called Larry Thompson. Larry Thompson is the guy who was the executive vice president of Herbalife, and he wrote a book. This is the book. And the minute I saw Larry hold the book up, I thought, right, before anyone said anything else, I was on Amazon and I bought it. And then Fraser put the link up for it. This is pure gold dust. There are people in here that I've met personally, but I was reading it, and honestly, I had shivers running down my back with the stuff that you learn in this. I first did the Millionaire Training 30 years ago. Now, I had it on audio cassette 30 years ago, and it was the shittiest audio cassette you've ever seen, because 30 years ago, no CDs were just about out, but we didn't have that stuff on CD. So they were on cassettes, but they'd been passed from pillar to post. Everybody had taken it home, stuck it into their twin tape player, and recorded from one to the other. And with every passing copy, the quality got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So all you could hear was cracks and hissles. Some of them were virtually unintelligible. This is the Millionaire Training transcript, every bit, word for word, as Larry Thompson delivered it. He delivered 4 hours of non-stop solid training on one day in 1981. And it's been responsible for making thousands of millionaires. Absolutely thousands of them. It's not the cheapest book you'll ever see. It's 20 quid, or just a bit over 20 quid. But I will tell you, it's the easiest read I've ever seen. It's brilliantly put together. And the content in it is just mind-blowing. And there is no two ways about it. Over coming weeks and months, I will be doing some of that as training, because they're the concepts, they're the foundations of this industry that came right down from the man who actually started network marketing 100 years ago. That's just something really, really special. That said, we've got something different to talk about tonight. So it's 8 o'clock, time for us to get started properly. So for those of you that are on, thank you for getting on time. Everyone else is going to be late. Your fault for being late. So tonight's call is going to be, I promised you something last week talking about prospecting, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So I promised what we were going to do last week was, let's just drag this out of my way. Can everyone see my screen? Thumbs up if you can see my screen. Good. Right. I promised you that I was going to go through the training that Eric Worre puts down. And it's 7 steps that will literally take you from an absolute novice to a professional network marketer. If you go through these steps and you follow what they have to say, you will make it with this business. The steps are very simple. Eric Worre has a gift, and he has a gift for making it simple. The same gift that Larry Thompson has. A gift for making things really, really simple. And one thing that I've learned over the years is not to complicate it, because so many people do. So step 1 is how to become a master prospector. And there are a few things that you need to know. And the first thing is, you don't have to be perfect in order to be successful. Imagine this guy. I loved this picture when I saw it. A guy actually painting the stripes in the middle of the road, painting them by hand in the middle of a motorway. Can you imagine how long that would take if you wanted to get those things perfect? But the thing is, I see people coming into network marketing, they think, right, I've got to learn this, and I've got to be perfect at it before I talk to anybody. You don't have to be perfect. What you've got to do is talk to people. That's the most important thing. Just get started. So, as far as this is concerned, take notes on this, get stuck into this, but don't just try and learn it. Just do it. That's the most important thing that you'll do. We're going to start with offline, because I'm going to teach you the things that I learned 30 years ago. And 30 years ago, there was no internet. 30 years ago, nobody could imagine what we would have today. But we had some fundamentals that worked for us. And the first thing is, and I said this to you last week, everything starts with a list. I'm going to very quickly recap on what I told you last week, just so we've got this clear and you see where we're going. There are three types of people in network marketing, and Eric Worre classifies them as posers, amateurs, and professionals. And trust me, I've seen each and every one of them. The posers are the people that are playing at this. They want to just really tell people that they've got a business and some sort of crap. And what they really think is they've got the concept. They understand that you find three people, teach them how to find three people, then they teach them how to find three people, and your team grows at every single stage along the line. That's the principle, and they understand that bit. But what they think is, well, you only need three people then. So they make a mental list of 3, 4, maybe 5 people they think are going to join. And that's it. That's all they do. Now, maybe they get a couple of no's, maybe they add a couple more into it. But by the time they've got to sort of 7 or 8 or 9 people, they've decided it obviously doesn't work. So they quit. They're gone. The amateurs make a better list. The amateurs actually sit down and they make a list. They write a list out, and they might get 100 people on the list. But then they just run out and they start talking to them all with absolutely no plan of what they're doing. They go out, they get hyper excited, they talk to people, but they talk gibberish because you're brand new to the industry. They're brand new. They don't really know what they're saying. And people ask them an intelligent question and they don't know how to answer it. And when you don't know how to answer it, you look bad. And then people turn around and say, it's a scam. You've got caught in one of those scams. And it puts them off. And they get freaked out. And what happens is their list gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And before too long, they're out of the business too. And then there are the people who decide to take this seriously. The people who want to make this into a profession. Professionals know that finding new people is the absolute heart of what we do. And they make a list. They make a huge written list. But then they make a commitment to add more people to that list every single day. And Eric Worre calls it an active candidate list. My list is here. My list is a book full. There's like tons upon tons upon tons of names in here. You get that. And I add to this every single day. I told you last week on last week's call, I'd been out and bought a car last week, yeah, and I got 2 names. I got two names and 2 business cards from the guys that actually added to it. Today I went out and I had to go and I went to get the car washed at the place where I normally have my car washed. And I've been going to the same car wash for years and years and years. And all of a sudden I turn up in a Mercedes with a private plate on it. And he went like, what's that? Well, I've already told him about the business before, but now he's asking. So again, I've got his number. I'm speaking to him tomorrow. I add people to my list every single day. What I want to do right now is tell you how to create this active candidate list and how you can actually add to this and make this work for you. Really simple, 4 steps. Just want you to get to grips with what we have to do. So the first thing you need to do is make your list as comprehensive as possible. I don't need to prejudge anybody at all. Doesn't matter if you don't think they're going to be interested. If you know them, they go on your list. Even if you're never going to call them, they go on your list. So that means people you went to school with, people that you've worked with, friends, neighbors, family members, everybody, people that you know in the pub. If you can think of a name, it goes on the list. And even if you can't think of contact details, put John at the pub, put whatever it may be, but make that list and put as many names on your list as you can. Because of the way the world works, we're all connected. When you put names on your list, don't just restrict yourself to the people that you think of straight away. If you put your brother-in-law on the list and then think about the friends of your brother-in-laws that you've been introduced to, or you put your sister on the list and you think of her friends, people that she went to school with, people that you know through them, workmates and their friends. Put everybody else, make this list as big as you can. And I don't want you to worry right at this moment in time what you're going to do with the list, because we're going to come to that later. That's the next skill we're going to learn. But right now, for this next 7 days, I want to see how big a list you can possibly get. I want this list to be huge. And then constantly expand that list every single day. Make it a goal to add at least 2 new people every single day to your list. And I don't mean people that you find online. That's something separate. I'm talking about offline people that you can think of, people you can relate to. If you're still going to work at this moment in time, you should be able to add new people every single day. If you're not going to work, you're still going to go to the supermarkets, you've got to buy food, you have to go out the house. You can find more people. Make a point of networking on purpose. And this is what Joe Gomez tells us as well. When you go out, when you meet new people, whether you go to the gym, whether you do whatever it is you can do, whenever you go to new places, meet new people, make new friends. I would suggest that you have some kind of business card. And I think I touched on business cards last week, and I've certainly touched on it in something before. But I was talking about business cards again a matter of a couple of hours ago with Jamie and Keith, who are on the call right now. And I came up with a design that I showed them. And Jamie's actually having it printed. You may actually have it ordered by now. But the design is just a simple card that just raises a question in the mind. And that question, I was given that question 2 years ago by Jamie. I can't see Jamie on there. Jamie, you'll know the guy. Rick Robury gave me this question. And the question was, if I could show you how to make some extra money with your smartphone, would you want me to tell you or keep it a secret? Who's going to say keep it a secret? Everybody is going to ask you how you do it. All you do then is you turn the card over. And when you turn the card over, it just says, find the profit that's hiding in your mobile phone in 2 simple steps. Step 1, visit profitfromyourmobile.com. Step 2, WhatsApp Jamie on, this is Jamie's card, obviously, that I've laid up for him. My own card is here, and you can see my own card has exactly the same message, different graphics, but says the same thing. Mine just says, find the profit hiding in your phone, visit profitfromyourmobile.com, call Roger on, and then my telephone number. You literally hand these out. They're as simple as you can possibly get. If anyone wants to see a mock-up of these, you can send me a message afterwards and I'll let you have a mock-up of it. But they are dead easy to just give away. But it's that question. That's the question. That's the magic. If you show you how to make some extra money with your smartphone, would you want me to tell you or keep it secret? That's just a magical question. So that's the offline stuff. And really simple. There's no magic to this. There's no mystery to this. Prospecting it's not complicated. It's hard because people don't want to talk to people. People get scared of talking to people, and they don't want to do things that make themselves feel uncomfortable. But it's about time we got real with what we're talking about in this business, because here's a simple fact for you guys. If you want next year to be different from this year, you can't do what you've done this year. If you want things to be different, you've got to be different. If you want things to be better, you've got to be better. And that's a simple fact. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do these things a little bit at a time. And you don't have to be perfect at it. You've just got to keep improving at it. So that's that list. Now let's talk about going online. Because when it comes to going online and prospecting online, we have the best training on the planet available to us, courtesy of Simon Son. Fraser Brooks is the best I know, and it's weird. Honestly, I struggle with this in many ways. It makes me smile and everything else. But to think that Fraser was 3 when I first met him. Fraser and his brother Corbin were playing in the corner of the room while Simon and me were drawing circles on a flip chart, pitching this business to people 30 years ago. Now Fraser is now living in a luxury high-rise apartment in Dubai, traveling the world, earning 7 figures a year, and this was the shyest kid on the planet. But he mastered how to do this online, and he's shown us how to do it online. So let's go through what Fraser teaches us to do. And the core thing that you do is the find, add, message people. That's all you've got to do to grow your list. First things first, spend 10 minutes every single day actively engaging with people on your Facebook wall. Just look through your wall, look at who's making posts, and just look at the posts and look at the comments. And when you see a comment that you like, agree with it or pass another comment, but a complimentary comment on it. And once you've made another comment on that page, then find that person. So someone new that you haven't contacted before, find that person, add them, and then send them a message. And when you send them a message, the message is the easiest thing in the world. And again, people make this complicated. The message that you make on your first contact should be as simple as this. Hi, Mary. Saw your comment on Katie's post. Thought it was really, really funny. Thought I'd like to connect and add you as a friend. How's things? That's it. Rocket science. No rocket science. You do not have to turn around and say to people, hi, Mary, saw your comment. I just want to know if you'd be interested in an opportunity that I've got that's making some extra. It leaves people cold. All that you say to people when you do that is you simply say to people, I'm trying to sell you something. Do not go into selling mode when you first make a comment. There's one magic word on there, friends. Just talk to them as if you were making friends. If you go and make friends in the gym with someone, when you first make friends with someone, you want to know all about them. You ask them all about themselves. You ask them where they work. You ask them where they go to, where they shop. You ask them where they went to school. You just ask questions to find things out about them. Do the same thing. It's not rocket science. If all that you want to do is find someone to sell to, they'll run a mile. But when you actually go ahead and actually make friends with people, people will listen to you. So make friends, then message them. If you can master that, if you can just master that one art and add new people every single day to your offline list and your online list, then I don't care how bad you are at every other step we're going to teach you. If you can master that, you can be the best in this business. You can have everything that you want. But this is what you've got to do. This is just like going to the gym. You build a muscle by working on it, not once, but over and over again. And the more you work on it, the more repeatedly you do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. We've got the gym bunnies on here. We've got people on here who love the gym, and they're as fit as you can get. You guys know all about going in, repetition, doing your exercises time and time again. You're doing the same exercises. You're not doing something new every time. You're doing the same stuff, but you know what the results are going to be. Do the same stuff I'm telling you right now. I know what the results are going to be. The opposite of doing it over and over again is also true. If you constantly avoid doing it, it just becomes a habit to avoid it. And a bad habit like that, you're never going to break it. In fact, the only way you actually break a bad habit is to replace it with a good habit. So your good habit is doing this over and over again. And it's really, really simple. So literally, as a metaphor, we're going to be here to help you build some muscles. I'm going to be here to teach you some good habits. So to build up your prospecting muscles, I want you to follow the 3 Ps. Just remember 3 Ps. Hope you're making notes with this now. 3 P's are really simple. The first P is to plan. You need to have a time to do your prospecting planned into your calendar. And I don't care if you set an alarm on your phone. I don't care if you've got something like out of Mousetrap that sort of knocks a bucket over, rolls down and trashes the TV if you don't do your prospecting. Do whatever it takes, but have something that reminds you every single day to do your prospecting. We're not talking about this taking over your life. We're talking about 30 minutes a day. But 30 minutes of prospecting every single day, 6 months down the line, will have you on your way to chairman. And on your way to chairman is £120,000, not dollars, pounds a year, because yes, it's $120,000, but then there are bonuses as a chairman, and the bonuses are worth about another 30%. And those bonuses will take the pounds into the dollars into pounds. So your pay as a chairman really is £120,000 a year. And if you think that's not worth it, well, you're in the wrong place. So here's what I do. I use Google Calendar to plan everything. I've got everything on there. I plan my reading time. I plan my Forex training time. I plan my prospecting time. I plan my Zooms. I plan when I'm going to the gym. I plan time with the families. Everything goes in there. Just a question of set up Google Calendar. It's free, but learn to live your life by it. So when your friend then phones you up and says, lockdown's finished, we can finally go for a drink, what time are you free to go out? You can say, just let me check, and you know what time you're busy, and you can say, right, I can move this to that time, and yes, we'll go out. And put in your plan, putting it in your calendar that you're going out with friends. I put my time that I go with friends into my calendar. I put time with my family into my calendar. I'm not saying you can't have a social life, but plan it so that you know you've got time. Because people tell me, I see people that turn around and say, I haven't got time to do this business, but they can tell me what was on the telly last night and the night before and the night before and that and the night before that. They don't make any special time for watching the telly, but they can't plan a business. I put this on Facebook yesterday. If you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. There is nothing more true than that. You need to get into the habit of planning. So the first P is planning. The second P is prep. You need to be prepared and you need to be able to monitor your business. So have an activity log on your desk ready to be completed, an open activity log. And you need to do this manually. You can't just keep this in your head and say, I've contacted 10 people today, and you won't remember. Yeah, you need to have it noted physically in your on a planner. Now, Fraser had a planner that he gave us for Dash for Cash, and I've come up with something that's based on that, and you can see it here. So it obviously goes right through the week, but this is just showing Monday to Thursday on there for the sake of fitting on the screen. But it's nice and simple. So the first activity that you need to do, comment on posts. Every time you comment on a post, put a tick in the box. Every time you find, add and message someone, put a tick in the box. If you ask them whether they'd be interested in looking at the opportunity, put a tick in the box. When you follow them up, put a tick in the box. And every time you get a new customer, put a tick in the box. And to start off, you'll find that the top 3 rows are really easy to fill in. The 4th row you'll be filling that in less quickly at first, but soon they'll be catching up. The bottom one, it'll take a while before you start putting those ticks in there, but eventually you'll be putting ticks in there every single day, and you just make a habit. Now, that's my planner all done nice and neat. I have my planner ready to go on my desk, so I'm ready for tomorrow. And at the bottom of it, I've got a summary sheet. You can't see it very well there, but there's a summary to summarize my week's activities. Now, because I'm a lovely, caring kind of guy, I've got a PDF of it. So anyone who wants the PDF can contact me, and you can have a copy of the PDF, and all of that stuff is on there for you. So prep then, preparation and getting yourself ready to work. I said have this on your desk. Now, I've got a desk here. You might not have a desk at home. You might not have space for a desk. If you don't have a space for a desk, find somewhere that is your place. I don't care whether it be dressing table in the bedroom, or even if it's at the kitchen table if you have to, but find somewhere where the family knows that when you're sat in that one place with your laptop open and this at the side of you, the family knows that for the next half hour, you're not available to do the dishes, walk the dog, make a cup of tea, or anything else like that. You've got half an hour where you've got to work your business. And it's really only done in 3 10-minute sessions. 10 minutes of commenting, 10 minutes of finding messaging, 10 minutes of asking the question and follow up. That's all you've got to do. Simple as you can possibly get. Do that, and that will make a world of difference. I would make a special time every single day for prospecting, the same time every day. That way it can go into your planner. You can put it into Google, and you know your time better than me, but you could just turn around and say between 6:30 and 7 p.m., that's my time for prospecting. Between 6:30 and 7 a.m., that's my time for prospecting. Between 8:30 and that, whatever the time may be, your time, but make it the same time every day. Your family will get to know it, and your family will stop asking questions. People will let you get on with it. And you will look and sound much more professional as you're talking to other people. Because ultimately, this is what this is all about. This is about teaching you to be a professional network marketer. Finally, the final P. And the final P is just literally perform. So it's literally a question like Nike said, just do it over and over and over again. Don't miss it. Do it every single day. And eventually, you'll prospect every day without even thinking about it. It will be just as simple as brushing your teeth. Just becomes a second habit. And if you don't brush your teeth, well, people look like that. Don't brush your teeth. It's just better doing that. That's that finished. And I don't want these sessions to be long-winded for the sake of it. So I'm going to throw this open to you guys right now. Questions? Anybody got any questions about anything? Not a one. I asked for questions. One person buggered off straight away. I don't know who disappeared straight away. And no one else has any questions. Okay, guys, this is really simple now. As far as this is concerned with this business, we've got 12 people. We had 12 people. We've got 11 people on right now. The more people you have in your team on this call, the bigger your business will be. This call can be open to prospects as well, because we're not going to say anything contentious on here that will put prospects off. We're going to talk about systems that will help people, and we're going to show people that we're here to help and we're here to work with them. But you need to get people on this call, because as long as you're on here on your own, then you're getting the benefit from it, but your team won't grow it. If you've got more people in your team, then the more people that you actually have in your team, you will get 2 times the benefit, 3 times the benefit, 5 times the benefit. It's all about getting more people on here. Next week, I'm going to talk about Katie. Got a question? Unmute yourself.
Hi, Roger. This is just mainly for you to just help maybe prospects out a little bit that are on this call, obviously who aren't part of the business. What would you say that the best thing for them to say to their prospects or their friends is?
If you're not in the business, and I know at this moment in time, everyone on this call is in the business, I think.
We've got one that I brought on. Michael, he's not in the business yet.
All right, Mike. Oh, I thought Michael joined us. Right, okay. If you're not part of the business yet, then the best thing to do is to talk to you. If you're going to talk to your friends, just to say to your friends, I'm just looking at something that I think sounds really good. I've been talking to some people, I've been getting their feedback on it. I'd like your opinion. Do me a favor. Would you just listen to this and tell me what you think, and ask them for their opinion? People do love to give their opinions, even if you don't want them to. They do love to give you their opinions. So just ask them that. If they ask you what it's all about, so look, I only know as much as you're going to see on there. But if you've got any questions, if you can think of questions that I can't think of, then I'll ask them. Yeah. So I'd love you to be able to say, well, what about this or what about that? Get their questions and then get on the phone to Katie with those people to get them to ask the questions. Katie can answer the questions. And if Katie can't answer the questions, then Katie can then turn around and get on the phone to me, to Simon, whoever it may be, and find someone else who can answer the questions. You're not expected to know all the answers when you come into this business. Nobody does. The hardest thing is actually talking to people and trying to make the answers up when you don't know it. So just be open up front and just say, look, I don't know. I'm just looking at it. I like what I see, but I'd like your opinion. Stick with it as that, and that should be able to take it further on from there.
That's obviously by sending them that profit from your mobile. I think I've given Michael that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Profit from your mobile does all the heavy lifting for you. First of all, we have there's 4 videos on there. The first video is done by Brandon Boyd, who's one of our sponsors from America. Brandon makes 50 grand a year, 50 grand a month just from sharing the business, plus his bonuses. He's actually making about 70 grand a month just from sharing the business. But from trading, he makes 100 grand a week. Now, he's been in this business for 5 years, and I'm not saying that you're going to get the same results that Brandon gets, but that's what's possible. But there's more than that possible, because the second video is by a guy called Jason Brown. Now, Jason got into the business 5 weeks before Brandon. Jason invited Brandon to the business. Difference of 5 weeks. Brandon's making 70 grand a month. Jason is making 860 grand a month sharing the business. $860,000 a month. That's more than 9 million a year. Am I saying you will make 9 million a year? Absolutely not. Am I saying you could make 9 million a year? Well, you could if you work as hard as he does. I mean, the man's a robot. He never stops. And I'll tell you now, when I said add 2 people a day to your contact list, Jason has hundreds of people. Everywhere he goes, he talks to people. But the thing is, if you get paid that much money, you've got no problem talking to people about it. Now let's wind really, really back to real sensible numbers. Yeah, let's wind back to numbers that you can relate to. If you can find just 3 people, 3 will pay you $150 a month. If you can help those 3 people to find 3 more, we'll pay you $600 a month. That's $7,000 a month, a year extra. And all you've done is found 3 people and helped them to find 3 people. And if you help those to find 3 people each, we'll raise that and we'll pay you $1 grand a month. So now you've got 12 grand a year extra. And this is really just small steps. By the time the 4th level has all got 3 people in it, you're earning £24,000 a year extra. Realistically, I think there are people that have done this. There are people that have hit the rank of chairman, which pays $10,000 a month within 6 weeks. But I think they're exceptional. I think it's doable in 6 months. But I know people in this business who took 18 months to get to chairman. So it took them 18 months to get to that point where they were earning 10 grand a month. The important thing is they didn't quit. And 12 months after that, they were chairman 250. So they weren't being paid 10 grand a month. They were being paid 250,000 a month. And 12 months after that, They were chairman 500 and they were being paid $500,000 a month. And 3 months after that, they were the same rank as Jason and being paid 860,000. The sky's the limit. It's up to you whether you can get it. And I go back to what I was saying at first about this book, Millionaire Training. This is all about mindset. Katie will tell you that what she's learned about trading, it's all about mindset. It's about getting things right in your head. This is about mindset as well. And here's the difference between the people that make 860,000 a month and the people that make 600 a month. The difference is you. They have the same opportunity. They have the same products. They have the same websites. They have the same number of hours in a day. The difference is they believe in it and they go for it. And thousands of people that have read this book have become millionaires because of it. And thousands of people that go out and talk to people about it make small fortunes out of this industry. And millions of people who won't do it say, yeah, it doesn't work. But no, it's not. It's not that it doesn't work. It's that you don't work. That's the reality of it. If you go out and you apply some simple principles, you can have whatever you want. We live in the weirdest time that I've ever known in my life. 2020 has just been the weirdest year. If you'd ever told me, even if you told me at Christmas, that at some point in time here in the UK, we would be told not to leave our houses, and that it was, you know, there were laws saying I would have to wear a mask to walk into a supermarket, I'd have said you're on drugs. We live in a weird time. And we know the impact that this is having around the world now. People are losing their lives. The health impacts are terrible. But also the impact that we're having, that it's having financially. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their businesses. I know people in this business who've lost their traditional business because of coronavirus. Here's what I also know. There will be more millionaires come out of this period of time than there probably has for the last 20 or 30 years. Because the people that take this opportunity right now and think, okay, I don't have anything better to do with my time right now. I can either sit in front of the telly, watch crap on TV and feel sorry for myself, or I can take this time and use it productively. And we have access to incredible tools like the internet, so we can talk to people without having to leave our house. There will be people that will make vast amounts of money. The only question is, do you want to be one of them? Simple as that. Do you want to be one of them? If you do, then all the help and all the support that you need is here. You do not have to do this on your own. Okay? If you're talking to someone and they have a question and you don't know the answer, don't say to someone, I'll get you on a three-way call, because you'll scare them to death. If they ask you a question and you don't know the answer, you just say, that's a really good question, hang on. And then you get someone in your upline, whether it be Jamie, whether it be Katie, whether it be me, you get someone else on the call. And if any of you on the call don't know my number, then speak to your upline and get my number, because I'm available, not quite 24 hours a day, but pretty damn close. So I never turn anyone away. Jamie's laughing. Jamie knows how late he contacts me. Do not be a Jamie. Please don't be a Jamie. But the fact is, I'm always here to help, and I will do everything that I can for you. I'm getting off the soapbox now. Anything else, guys? Any questions? Okay, Violetta, unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself, Violetta.
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah.
Literally
Quick question.
happening.
Yeah, quick question. What if someone will ask you, I will get back with you, and I'm the person who is like, it needs to be done now, and 1 day passes, 2 day passes, 3 day passes, like you don't hear anything from them, right?
Okay.
How would you approach to follow up in a very short way?
I would go back to them and I would say, you said you were going to get back to me. What are your thoughts? What did you like best about what we'd seen? And I would ask a positive question, but here's the thing: if you're following people up, then you need a system, and there's a beautifully simple system for following people. When it comes to following people, most people put it off. Most people wait because they're frightened of following people up. What they're actually frightened of is they're frightened that the people are going to say no to them.
Rejection.
Yeah. Okay. Put that out of your head. It doesn't matter if someone says no. If someone says no to the business, you've done your job properly. If someone says yes, you've done your job properly. If someone says, I need to think about it, you've done something wrong. Because that means you haven't answered a question that they've got. So go back and ask them what it was they needed to think about. So here's what I do for follow-up. If they turn around and say they want to follow up, the day after, I will contact them. The follow-up must be done the day after. Not 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, the day after.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they still turn around and say they need to think about it, I leave them for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one, I leave them for 1 day. Second follow-up, I leave them for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Third follow-up, I leave them for 4 days, and I double it every time. Fourth follow-up, I leave them for 8 days. Then I leave them for 16 days. Then I leave them for 32 days. This is why you need to use Google Planner, because
Yes.
you can plan your diary. You put in your diary that I've got to follow up such a body on this date, and I've got to follow up such a body on that date. You'll find before too long your diary is full of people that you've got to follow up. But when your diary is that full of people to follow up, first of all, you come across as being really professional. You know, you're following a structured way of doing this. You're not just forgetting people and ignoring people. And all the time that you're doing it, even if it takes 6 months, the fact that you are constantly posting things on social media, you're posting your results, people are watching you. People don't make decisions instantly these days. People want to sit back and watch you and see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry about it, and don't get hung up about people saying no. But I don't like people saying I need to think about it. I want yes or no. And there was an expression that I heard years and years ago, and I never forgot it, and I love it. And it says, you get paid for yes, you get paid for no, you don't get paid for TIO. You do not get paid for I want to think it over.
Mm-hmm.
If people want to think it over, just means they've got a question that they don't want to ask you. Maybe the question is, I haven't got the money. How can I afford this? Maybe people are embarrassed about saying they haven't got money. Doesn't matter what it is. If you can get the question from them, you can come up with a solution for it. I find it amazing when people think about, right, I don't have money to invest right now. You don't need money to invest. When you get started in this business, you don't need money to invest. When you get started in this business, the first thing I want anyone to do when they first get started is start on a demo account. I don't want people to start trading with real money on day one, because if people start trading with real money on day one, they're going to lose it. And the reason they're going to lose it is because you've never done it before. You're going to press the wrong button. You're going to put the wrong number in the wrong place. And when you put the wrong number in the wrong place, if you're trading with real money, it costs you. So the smart thing to do is use a demo account. Now, that's not real money. So you don't need money to invest initially, because you're going to do at least a month of practicing getting it right before you actually do real money. But in the meantime, if you can go and find 3 people we can take the subscription away from you. And if you help them to find 3 each, and you can get to that point where you've got 3 people below, you've all got 3 below them, we call that Platinum 600, and 600 is magical because when they get to Platinum 600, we will give you $600 a month. Now, about a third of that is going to pay for your subscription for you, but that means we'll give you $400 a month to invest. We'll actually pay you to invest. And I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to do this. I want to show you something. Let's go on here. I'm going to drag this out of the way. This is how much money is available through trading.
I actually wanted to ask this, Roger, if we are allowed to share, maybe not on social media, but privately with someone with this, because Jamie, I saw this video Jamie posted today.
Was it me in the video? Was it me explaining in the video?
Yeah, it was 200 pounds, I think.
Yeah, share that by all means. Let's just take, I'm going to stick with dollars for the moment. So let's just put $200. And my attitude towards trading, all I look to make is 5% a day, and I only trade 3 days a week. So that's 15% a week. So I want to do this to weekly. And I just want to put, they've changed this screen. So this may not give me the exact breakdown the way it used to do, but so there we've got $200, 15% a week over 1 year, and I compound this weekly. Okay, and I hit calculate. This is how much money is available for you if you trade and you make 5% per day, 3 days a week. $292,000. They've tweaked this so they can actually compound it weekly. I always used to show this showing monthly compounding, but we're not compounding monthly, we're compounding weekly. So that's your potential for you. But I just said to you that find 12 people and we will give you $600. Well, imagine then, so $200 of your dollars is going to be spent on paying your subscription. You put the other 400 into your trading account. So instead of $200, you start with $400. Look at the difference. Now, I could do something really stupid. I could say, what happens if every month you took your $400 extra, and you added,
telephone number.
Yeah. How big do you think that number's going to get? I'm not going to do it.
Millions. Do it.
I'm not
Go
going to
on.
Do it.
Press it.
Okay.
Press
If you
the
had
button.
that $400 every single month,
2 million.
months. No, it's going to be way more than that, Jamie. Oh, you're right. You're right. Nearly 2 million. So $400 a month. And that's not your money, because that $400 a month is what we've given you for getting to Platinum 600. So all of that came from a $200 investment in getting started with us, and then finding 3 people who got 3 people each.
I'd even share that amount of money between everybody on this call. Still have enough.
That is the potential that you've got in front of you. I mean, if it doesn't excite you, It excites hell out of me. I mean, I know how much I'm planning on making next year out of this business. And next year will be my second year in IM Academy. This business isn't about your first 12 months. Your first 12 months will be profitable. You'll make money. Your second 12 months, you'll get rich. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but if you stick at it, if you stick it through, you can have anything that you want. All you've got to do is help as many people as you can to get the same thing.
Put $5,000 in that calculator for your
I'm
P5000.
not putting $5,000 in that calculator. If I put $5,000 in that calculator, first of all, you won't be able to read the number. It will be so big. And secondly, if I put $5,000 in it, then the people that are looking are going like, nah, that just don't believe those numbers. That's the potential that's there for you. But the only way we'll get it is if we actually start duplicating this. And instead of next week having 12 people, that's now gone down to 10 people, if instead of that, if we have 20 people on, and then we have 40 people on, and every single one of you will start rank advancing, and we'll start paying each and every one of you. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know it all, because you've got the experts available to work with you and tell you. I'm not an expert. I know more than some of you because I've been around longer than you. Still don't claim to be an expert. Don't ever really want to be an expert. But the fact is, there's just so much that we can do just by sharing it. That said, we've been on for a bit over 3/4 of an hour, so let's wrap it up right now. Tomorrow night, we've got a call with Brandon. I always like Brandon's calls because Brandon always gives us good value. Last week's training was exceptional with Brandon. But Tuesday night's call is going to be a special one as well. Tuesday night, Simon and I were originally just going to do a training that we're going to tell you how to tell your own story, which was something that Joe was talking about last week. Yeah. But we're going to have something special on Tuesday this week, because on Tuesday this week, Simon and I are going to tell you how the winner's circle will change in January to what it was last January. What we're going to be doing is, for everyone who's in the business who wants to take Forex trades and doesn't really quite understand it yet or quite get it yet, I will go back to calling trades. I did it before and it's hard work. I'll tell you now, it's hard work. And I stopped doing it because it was affecting building my business. But I think people still need it. So if people need it, I'm prepared to go back to it. So what we're going to do is I will call the trades with Simon. I'll put the trades out to you and I will tell you what the trade is. I'm only doing Forex. I'm not doing HFX because HFX won't work this way, because HFX, you've got to take it in the moment. But on Forex, I will send the trade out. I will send you what the trade is, what the pair is. I will tell you what your entry price is. I'll tell you what your take profit is, and I will tell you what your stop loss should be. Okay, you'll have to learn how to put your own lot size in. There is a video on the website that will tell you how to. There's already a video on winnercircle.group website that tells you how to set your own take profit. Sorry, your own lot size. But I'll do that training again. I am not going to call these the way I did it last year. When I did it last year, I was calling 10 trades a day and I was doing it Monday to Friday and everything. I'm not doing it. I will do these 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I will not take trades on trap days. You'll probably get 2 to 3 signals a day from me, but you should be able to get your 5% a day just from my trades. And if you can get your 5% a day just from my trades, then those numbers that I just showed you on the compound calculator, that's what your return will be. And if you then turn around and you learn the skills and you learn the education, as well as Jamie's learned it, as well as Katie's learned it, you can take your own trades besides that and make so much more. But I'll be there whilst you're learning. I'll be there to make sure that you're earning whilst you're learning. Don't think we can do clearer than that and fairer than that. Is that fair, guys?
Mate, yeah. Awesome.
All right. In that case, I'm going to wrap it up for now. I will see you all tomorrow night. Have lots of fun. Enjoy the rest of the night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.